Welcome, everyone. I'm Father Manuel Souza. I'm the pastor here. I would like to welcome in a special way our guests, our people here who were invited by members of our parish and are visiting us, some for the first time. I would like to welcome you. In 1989, in this hall, we began to do a passion play in Portuguese. We would fill this hall from side to side, front and back, 1,000 people. And we did it for many years. I used to be Jesus. I got tired of being beaten up every year, so we ended the play. No, not exactly. But we did it many years, and then Daniel Warpa took the place of Jesus in the play with, of course, many other parishioners. And now, I'm so pleased that the Community Life Commission has thought of something like this again, this time in English, involving a lot of young people and some not so young. And I'm just so pleased to see this. This will be a beautiful opportunity for us to enter into the spirit of Holy Week, of the Passion of Jesus, that we may rise with him to a new life. And so, I congratulate all those involved, and you have all their names in your program, so I will not go into that. But just to say that if there are empty places around where you are, you can raise your hand, because when people come in, the ushers may help to seat some people at the last moment here. So, now in Portuguese, just a couple words. Bem-vindos a todos. Com muita alegria que nós vemos agora na ressuscitada em inglês, o ato da paixão de Cristo. Com muita alegria vemos os jovens aqui. Bem-vindos a todos que também nos visitam. Que tenham uma boa hora de reflexão sobre o próprio âmago do Evangelho. Let us now do this long meditation on the Passion of Jesus.
Were you there when they crucified my Lord? Were you there when they crucified my Lord? Oh, sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble, tremble. Were you there when they crucified my Lord?
When the hour had come, he reclined at the table with the apostles, and he said to them,
I have earnestly desired to eat this Passover with you before I suffer. For truly, I say to you, I shall never eat it again until it is fulfilled in the kingdom of God.
And when he had taken some bread and given thanks, he broke it and gave it to them, saying,
This is my body, which is given up for you. Do this in remembrance of me.
And in the same way, he took the cup after they had eaten, saying,
This cup, which is poured out for you, is the new covenant in my blood.
As they were eating, he said,
Truly, truly I say to you that one of you will betray me.
Being deeply grieved, each one began to say to him,
Surely not I.
and he answered,
He who dipped his hand in the bowl with me is the one who will betray me. The Son of Man is to go, just as it is written of him. But woe to that man by whom the Son of Man is betrayed. For it would have been good for that man if he had not been born.
Surely it is not I, Rabbi.
You have said it yourself.
and Jesus said to them,
You will all fall away, for it is written, the Son of Man will be struck down, and the sheep will be scattered. But after I have been raised, I will go ahead of you to Galilee.
But Peter said to him,
Even though all may fall away, yet I will not.
Peter, truly I say to you that this very night, before the cock crows, you yourself will deny me 3 times.
Even if I have to die with you, I will never deny you.
Then Jesus came with them to a place called Gethsemane. He then said to his disciples,
"Sit here while I go over there and pray." My soul is deeply grieved to the point of death. Remain here and keep watch with me.
And he went a little beyond them and fell on his face and prayed, saying,
Father, if it is possible, let this cup pass from me. Yet, not as I will, but as you will, Father.
And he came to the disciples and found them sleeping, and said to them,
So you men could not keep watch with me for 1 hour. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. Behold, the hour is at hand, and the Son of Man is being betrayed into the hands of sinners. Behold, the one who betrays me is at hand.
Now Judas, who was betraying him, knew the place, for Jesus had often met there with his disciples. Judas then, having received the Roman cohort and officers from the chief priests and Pharisees, came there with lanterns, torches, and weapons. So Jesus, knowing all things that were coming upon him, went forth and said to them,
Whom is it that you seek?
Jesus, the Nazarene.
I am he.
And Judas also, who was betraying him, was standing there with them. Jesus answered,
I have told you that I am he. So if you seek me, let these go their way.
The one called Judas of the 12 was preceding them, and he approached Jesus to kiss him.
Judas, you betrayed the Son of Man with a kiss?
Bind him. Take him away.
Having arrested him, they led him away and brought him to the house of Caiaphas, who was the high priest that year. But Peter was following at a distance. After they had kindled a fire in the middle of the courtyard and had sat down together, Peter was sitting among them. And a servant girl, seeing him as he sat in the firelight, and looking intently at him, said, but he denied it, saying,
Woman, I do not know what you're talking about.
A little later, another saw him and said,
You were with him too.
My friend, I was not.
After about an hour had passed, another woman began to insist, saying,
Certainly this man was also with him, for he is a Galilean too.
I do not know what you're talking about.
The Lord turned and looked at Peter. And Peter remembered what the Lord had said and how he had told him, before a rooster crows today, you will deny me 3 times. And he went out and wept bitterly. When it was day, the council of elders of the people assembled, both chief priests and scribes, and they led him away to their council chambers, saying,
If you are the Messiah, tell us.
If I tell you, you will not believe. And if I ask a question, you will not answer. But from now on, the Son of Man will be seated at the right hand of the power of God.
Are you then the Son of God?
I am.
Blasphemy! Blasphemy! What further need have we of testimony? We have heard it ourselves from his own mouth. Take him away to Pilate.
While he was seated on the bench, Pilate's wife said to him,
Have nothing to do with that righteous man, for I suffered greatly in a dream last night because of him.
The whole body of them got up and brought Jesus before Pilate. They began to accuse him, saying,
We found this man misleading our nation and refusing to pay taxes to Caesar, and calling himself the Christ, a king.
So Pilate asked him,
Are you the king of the Jews?
Do you say this on your own behalf? Or have others told you about me?
I am not a Jew, am I? Your own nation and chief priests have brought you to me. What have you done?
My kingdom is not of this world. If my kingdom were of this world, then my servants would be fighting so that I would not be handed over to the Jews. But as it is, My kingdom is not of this realm.
So, you are a king.
You say correctly that I am a king. For this I have been born, to testify to the truth. Anyone who is of the truth hears my voice.
Truth? What is truth?
Now on the occasion of the feast of Passover, the governor was accustomed to release to the crowd one prisoner of whom they wished. And at that time they had a notorious prisoner called Barabbas. So when they had assembled, Pilate said to them,
Who do you want me to release to you? Barabbas or Jesus, called Messiah?
for he knew that it was out of envy that they had handed him over. The chief priests and elders persuaded the crowds to ask for Barabbas, but to destroy Jesus. The governor said to them in reply,
Which of the two do you want me to release to you?
Barabbas!
What shall I do with Jesus, called the Messiah?
Let him be crucified. Crucify the man.
Why? What has he done?
Crucify him! Crucify him!
When Pilate saw that he was not succeeding at all, but that a riot was breaking out instead, he took water and washed his hands in sight of the crowd, saying,
My hands are clean of this. Look to it yourselves.
His blood be upon us and upon our children.
Then he released Barabbas to them.
Take him away to be crucified.
Maybe a crown is proper for the king. Huh? Look at him now in his glory.
Were you there when they nailed him to the tree? Were you there when they nailed him to the tree?
When they led him away, they seized a man, Simon of Cyrene, coming in from the country, and placed on him the cross to carry behind Jesus. And following him was a large crowd of the people and of women who were mourning and lamenting him. But Jesus, turning to them, said,
Women of Jerusalem, do not weep for me. Weep instead for yourselves and for your children. For if they do this when the tree is green, what then will they do when it is dry?
See the scars upon your hands. Hold the truth that when I can't, you always can. I'm standing here at the shadow of the cross. I'm overwhelmed. I keep finding open arms. What love is this that you gave your life for me and made a way for me to know you? And I confess you're more than enough for me. You're all I need. What love is this that you gave your life for me and made a way for me to know you? And I confess you're more than enough for me. You're all I need.
When they came to the place called Golgotha, which means the skull, they crucified him and the criminals, one on the right and the other on the left. But Jesus was saying,
Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing.
and they cast lots, dividing up his garments amongst themselves. And the people stood by, looking on, and even the rulers were sneering at him, saying,
He saved others. Let him save himself, if he is the Christ, the Son of God.
The soldiers also mocked him, coming up to him, offering him sour wine, and saying,
If you really are the Son of God, save yourself!
Now there was also an inscription above him that read, "This is the King of the Jews." One of the criminals who was hanging there was hurling abuse at him, saying,
Are you not the Christ? Save yourself and us.
But the other answered, rebuking him, saying,
Are you not afraid? You're suffering the same death that he is. But this man has done nothing wrong. Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom. Truly, truly, my friend, I say to you that this very day you will be with me in paradise.
When Jesus saw his mother then, and the disciple whom he loved standing nearby, he said to his mother,
Woman, behold your son.
Then he said to his disciple,
Behold your mother.
From that hour, the disciple took her into his own household. After this, Jesus, knowing all things that had already been accomplished to fulfill the scripture, said,
I thirst.
A jar full of sour wine was standing there. So they put a sponge full of the sour wine upon a branch of hyssop and brought it to his mouth. Therefore, when Jesus had received the sour wine, he said,
It is finished.
And he bowed his head and gave up his spirit.
So let's see what else they think they're going to present everybody together or not? No? Okay. You want to say?
On behalf of the crew and the Community Life Commission, we'd like to thank you for those that came to watch us. We hope you enjoy the rest of your retreat. We hear the agenda is fantastic. But the actors really do appreciate your support and your prayers. I think they did an amazing job. They're out back. We didn't feel it was appropriate to come out, with such a solemn. So we hope you take this message as you enter into Holy Week. I know it was impactful for me, and I've been watching it all week. So I really hope it meant as much to you guys as it did to us.
We would like to, on behalf of the Formation Commission, we would like to have you stay. You're welcome to stay for the retreat. The beginning tonight, we have Trish Short here from EWTN, and she'll be presenting tonight, all day tomorrow, and then also on Sunday morning. So we're going to take about a 10-minute break just to make a change here in the stage. And so stand up, stretch your legs, and yes, please stay. Tomorrow we will have babysitting. If you have children and you want to come, you're welcome to stay. So Stay tonight. That's right. Father says, stay tonight. So anyway, stand up for about 10 minutes. We're going to make a change and get ready to go. Thank you.
And just one final thing. We have Mass in English this morning. Right now, in this small church, we'll have Mass in Portuguese.